Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Ujjwal Singh and this is Salesforce Administrator Series. So today's we will discuss about validation rules. Okay. So before starting the video, if you like my content, do hit the like button, share it with your friends and colleagues, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. Okay. So we have a playlist like Salesforce Administrator, and here you can find lots of video related to Salesforce admin topics. So do have a look on this playlist, and here you can get lots of videos related to some admin topics. Okay. So let's switch to our main topic. What exactly are validation rules in Salesforce? Okay, so a validation rules can be used to improve the data quality. Validation rules verify that the data a user enters in a record meets the standard you specify before the user can save the records. So these validation rules can be used to improve the data quality within the system. Okay, so we can restrict the user to enter the specified data only, so that user he can't enter any rubbish data or any invalid data within the system. So we can restrict the user to have some validation rules, so he can only able to add the particular data in our system. Okay, so this basically used to improve the data quality within the system. So let's see how we can create this validation rule. So let's switch to our org. So here we have this org, and first I will show how I can create one of the validation rules on this car detail object. So car detail is our custom objects within our custom car showroom application. So we have covered all these topics like how to create this application and custom our objects in our previous video. So you can have a look on our this admin series. Okay, so let's see. We have a field this capacity 45 that describes like what's the capacity of this car, but a car can't be have 45 capacity. Okay, so but we have the possibility user can enter anything, so it can enter 6333, and if we save, he is able to save 6333. So a car can't have such much of capacity. Okay, so we have to restrict the user so that user can only able to enter between 2 and 7. So either 2 and 7 and inclusive. If it's less than 2 or greater than 7, that the error should be there. Okay, so let's see how we can build this validation rule. For this, just click on edit object, and if you scroll down, we have this validation rules. So in our previous video, we have already covered all these topics like page layout, field relation, buttons, compacts, and these restriction rules and scoping rules. So you can have those videos, you can have those look on our admin series. There you can find all those videos. Okay, so currently we don't have any validation rules here. So to create a new validation rule, just click on new, and we need to populate some of the data here. So let's do one by one. Maybe I can use this car capacity validation, and I can describe here the capacity of cars should be between 2 and 7. Okay. Now here we need to describe the error condition. So we need to describe write a conditions that if that condition is true, then we need to show the error message. If that condition is false, then we don't have to show that error message. So for this, the Salesforce has given one of the example like discount price is greater than this. Error is displayed if discount is greater than 30%. Okay, so if the discount percentage is greater than 30, then error should be displayed. Okay, so similarly way we need to define some of the condition here. If that condition is true, then only this error message will be shown on the record. If that is false, then no error message will be shown. Okay, so suppose let's click on this. From here we get all the fields of our record page like account object. So we have this account card details, sorry, a card detail objects. So we have this card detail objects, and here we have all those fields. So we need to select the car type here. Okay, and what will be the condition is if car type, or we need to have car capacity, not car type. So we have this capacity. Okay, so car capacity should be greater than or equals to. So if here we can also have these operators like you can see greater than, less than, anything. So I will write car capacity if greater than or equals to or I can simply use greater than 7. So if the capacity is greater than 7, or we can use or statement here, or again I will insert the capacity field is less than. You can simply write here less than, or you can even you can select from this. Okay, so that's why it comes true two times. Okay, and if it's less than 2 here, so I have written this condition like if the capacity of the car is greater than 7, or if the capacity is less than 2, then we need to show the error. Okay, so we can also verify whether this condition is right or wrong, or there is some error in this condition. So we have this check syntax box, and you can see no error found. But if we can write something fields that doesn't exist, and if we click on check syntax, you can see we have this error that field capacity CW doesn't exist, check spelling. So in this way, if your expression has some error, then you get those error here. So let's again click on check syntax. So now we don't have a error. Okay, so our condition is defined. Now we have to show what exactly the message we want to show. Okay, so let me write the message that capacity can't be more than not like this. I will use capacity should be between 2 and 7. Okay, and let it be for this, let it be as a top of the page. I will explain what exactly this. First, let's see what is top of the page and click on save. So our this car capacity validation is created and it's currently active. So let's go again to this validation page and just refresh the page. And now if I click edit, so we have this 3 and if we click save, now you can see we have this capacity should be between 2 and 7. So earlier we are able to save this record because there was no validation rules. Now we are not able to save this records because that validation, we have created this validation on this particular fields, and it should be between 2 and 7. But the issue is sometimes we don't recognize like which field we have a error. We have just generic message like capacity shouldn't be between 2 and 7. So for that purpose, we have, if we click on edit here, we can also show this message on a specific field level. So if we click on here field, and if I can select this on capacity and click on save. So let's refresh this page again. If I click on edit and if I click on save, you can see we get this error message in that specific fields only, like capacity should be between 2 and 7. And if I click here, you can navigate to this, and let me change it to 6 and let's save it. Now we are able to save it, and if I again make it to 1, let's check when 1, and if I try to save it again, we get the error and we are not able to save this record. So let it make to 5. Okay, so in this way we can create one validation rules on every fields, like mostly all the fields, like based on your requirement you can create a validation rules. Okay, let's see one of the more example of the same validation rules. So now currently go on a standard objects, account objects, and we have this Jenny objects. Okay, and here you can see we have these two fields, industry and other industry. So this industry field is a pick list field, and you can select the industry from this pick list. But if that particular industry is not there, we can select other. Okay, and we can specify the other industry here. But currently if we save this, we are allowed to save this other industry blank, but it shouldn't be. If the user is selected other, then he should enter some values in other industry. Okay, so we will use these validation here. Okay, so for that, let's again go to edit objects and we will move to our account setup page, and here validation rules. Currently we don't have any validation rules, so just click on new and let me name it as uh, other industry validation. Okay, so other industry should not be blank if industry is selected. Okay. Now we have to build the condition for this. So we have lots of function here. Like if you can see, we also have few functions here like dates and times, slow, add months, current date, day of the year, current day, date values. So we have lots of methods and we can use these methods. Okay, so we have something called logical that basically consists of the logical computation. So we have this if method. So you can see we have this if checks whether the condition is true and returns the value if true and another value if false. So let's double click on this. So we have there here condition, then if true values and then false value. So here we will simply use true and here we will simply use false. Okay, so if this condition is successful, then we will show output as true, and if this condition is not successful, we will show output as false. So if this condition is true, output will be true and then this error message will be shown, and if this condition is not true, then output will be false and then error message will not shown here. Okay, so now we need to check whether this industry field is other or not. Okay, so we need to add this logic here. So click on this and we will select the industry field. So we have this. Okay, and we need to select industry field should be equals to other. Okay, other. Okay, and if it's other, let's check the syntax. So we get this error message like field industry is a pick list. Pick list field is only supported in a certain functions. So we can't use this pick list value directly like this. Like we specify the API name of this pick list value and the value. To use the pick list value, we can use other fields like normal text fields, number fields, checkbox or formula fields. But for the pick list fields, we can't use these things. For pick list, we have some method here is pick val. Okay, so we need to use this. So let's click here. So we have this pick list value here. We can specify the pick list field and we need to specify the particular value. So if this pick list field has this particular value, then it will return true. Okay, this method will return true. So let's click here and insert the field. So what we need to insert here, industry, and here we can check the specific value, and I need to check value other. Okay, so now I have checked one condition whether the pick list field is other, and now I have to check another condition, and this another field, this other industry is blank. Okay, so we use this another industry is a text field, so we can simply directly use other industry. Okay, here, and we can use this and simply blank. So we are checking whether the pick list value industry is other and other industry is blank, then this condition is true, else it's false. And if this condition is true, let's check the syntax first, and we don't have any error. So if this condition is true, then we need to show the error that other industry can't be blank if industry is other. Okay, and I will use the field level error and let me add this to other industry. Okay, so we have no error here in this and we have specified this, and let's click on save. So our validation rule is created. Let's go here and refresh the page. So now we have this industry other, and if I click here and if I try to save it, yes, that's the save button. Yeah, now it's come. If I let's try to save it, so now we get the error message like other industry cannot be blank if industry is other. Okay, so let me add something, maybe IT, and if I can save it, yes, I can save. So in this way you can create a validation rules. Okay, so for homework purpose you can have one of the problem you can solve this. Okay, so let me define the problem. So we have seen like if we have this industry as other, then it should be this industry should be filled. But we need to have one more condition. If it's not other, this should be blank only. User not able to allow us to save in this way. Okay. So it should be always be blank. So this is the homework for you. So you can have create a validation rule where if the industry is selected, then other industry should be always blank. It shouldn't be any value here in other industry if industry is selected. Okay. Okay, that's it in this video. See you in next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.